Hey everybody, it's Allie from Pad Foot Palms, Poodles and Pals. So, I just had something really frustrating happen, and I just wanted to jump on here and talk about it because these are the type of things that just get swept under the rug. They don't get talked about. Scammers are running rampant right now with, the high demand for puppies because of, everybody being at home. So anyway, I'm just kind of stalling for a minute to give people a chance to join. I see we've got a couple of people who have joined. Hello. If somebody would drop me a comment down below and let me know if the comments are working, that would be fantastic. Okay. Anyway, I think everybody must be on lunch. Okay, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about what happened. Okay, so if you're just joining, if you will just drop me a comment and let me know, that way I know the comments are working, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so let's talk about what just happened. So I was helping a breeder friend of mine who was looking for a puppy. Hey, Crystal's here. Hey, Crystal. So I was helping a breeder friend of mine who was looking for a puppy. And I ended up finding one that was listed. She was genetically tested. She had, pictures and videos and all of this. Hey, Crystal. Hey. So, the puppy was gorgeous. I mean, perfect markings. It was a female. It was everything that would be fantastic for my friend in her breeding program. So, long story short, I talked to my friend. She decided she wanted her. So we went about the process of coordinating, right, to get this puppy. We were trying to arrange for a pickup of the puppy. And for those of you who don't know, there is a horrible series of storms and tornadoes that are about to hit or may already have started to hit Alabama. So we're trying to coordinate with this breeder, and I'm not trying to have my friend go out in the middle of a tornado to pick up a puppy, right? I mean, the governor's got the state on lockdown. So we say, okay, we're all three talking, and we're like, all right, we'll just try for what would now be tomorrow. And everything was good. And the breeder did not specify that she wanted a deposit. I offered a deposit and she said no, that she would hold the dog for a few days, because of the storm, and that all of that would be fine. And I was like, okay. So I wake up today and there is a message from the breeder saying, I have someone else trying to place a deposit on this puppy, so I need you to send me a deposit. And I was like, okay, that's okay. You could have just told me last night that you wanted a deposit, but all right. So I asked her, I said, okay, how would you like the deposit sent to you? And she didn't respond for the longest time. So I was like, okay, I'm starting to get worried about this. Are you selling this puppy out from under my friend? Like, what's going on? We can send you a deposit. It's not a big deal. So she finally messages back and explains, right, you can send it via PayPal. And she's like, yeah, the deposit is $500, which was a little bit high considering the price of the puppy. But I was like, okay, all right. I mean, if that's what you want to charge, that's fine. You know, it's up to the breeder. So I was a little put off by that. And then she sends another message and says, yeah, let me know once you send the deposit so I can refund this other lady who sent a deposit. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What? I said, wait a minute. For that other person to send you a deposit, you would have needed to talk to them, send them your PayPal information so that they can send you a deposit. And I was one of the very first people to talk to this breeder. So I knew that they were, you know, potentially talking to other people, but we had set up a pickup time. Like, there was no, I offered to pay a deposit. Like, there was no question of whether or not we were going to go pick up the puppy. So I didn't like that at all. I'm like, okay, so let me get this straight. You coordinated a pickup with me and then turned around and took a deposit from someone else. Now you want me to pay a deposit, and then you are going to refund the other person's deposit. That just screams of scammer. At the very least, it screams of really bad breeder, because essentially what she did was she sold the puppy out from underneath us, even though she insisted that she didn't need a deposit. She understood about the weather. She didn't want to go out in a tornado either. And we had everything set up and everything was good to go. So, yeah, I was like, why did you do that? Anyone who uses a little bit of common sense would know that if you are selling an item and you give someone a means to put down a deposit, that they are going to then send you a deposit. Like, that's just common sense. So then she sends me a screenshot of the conversation that she had with this other woman. And it clearly shows that she gave her the info. She was like, hey, I'm waiting to hear back from somebody else. If I don't hear from them, we're good to go. The buyer is like, okay, I just sent you the deposit. And the breeder is like, okay, when do you want to pick up? Okay, so let me get this straight. This is supposed to be a screenshot that is in some way showing that you're an honest person, when it shows exactly what I was afraid of, which is you have sold this puppy out from underneath me and my friend. And now you want me to send you money on top of that. I don't know you. You've got to be kidding me. So, yeah, Crystal said not right. Not only is it not right, it is incredibly unprofessional. Just assuming that she's a breeder, she's not a scammer, right? Hey, Emily. So, just assuming that she's not a scammer, to have a breeder do that is completely unethical and money hungry, seedy, scammy, grabby. It was very, very heart-wrenching. And the worst part is, my friend had told her kids about this puppy, showed them pictures. Like, to say that she and her family were super excited to get this puppy, their level of excitement caused me to have super level of excitement. Like, I was so happy for them. And to then have the rug pulled out from underneath them the very next morning for no reason. No reason. I have the money. My friend has the money. We had already coordinated a pickup date. Like, why would you take a deposit from someone else when you've already got it set up? Now, some breeders do have a policy that they do not hold puppies without a deposit. I completely understand this because there is a risk of getting stood up or someone changing their mind or whatever the case may be. But I specifically asked this woman when it became obvious we weren't going to be able to pick up the next morning, which would have been this morning. I specifically said, okay, do you need a deposit? Are we good? What do you need from me? You need my phone number? You need my, right? And she swore up and down that it was good. So, yeah. As if that wasn't bad enough, then I went to report her to the admin of the group, sent them all the screenshots, explained what happened, and I was like, hey, I don't know if this is just a bad breeder or if she's a scammer, but to try to get deposits from multiple people screams scammer to me. So you may want to look into it. You may want to, research them or whatever and consider removing them from your group because that's very shady behavior. You don't take deposits from multiple people for one puppy. Then the super disappointing part was that admin said, oh yeah, okay, well, that does sound really shady. You should just make a post and warn people. Okay, I can do that. That's fine. I mean, I can't tag this woman on it. I can't tag this woman on it because she's already blocked me because I told her that this was scammy behavior. But yeah, I can make a post. All that's going to do is the people who see the post will then be warned. Hi, Tammy. The people who see the post will be warned that this is a potential scammer, right? So I'm like, you're the admin of this group. Don't you want to go investigate? I mean, I'm not saying just take my word for it, but I'm saying, aren't you going to do something? And she was like, no, you can make a post about it if you want to. It does sound very shady, but no, we don't remove people. This is why other groups are full of scammers and bad breeders who, pull all sorts of shenanery, takes people's money and then disappear. Like, this is one of the reasons why we are so diligent about everything in my group. When someone reports that something is sketchy or that they had a bad experience with someone, I go investigate. I don't just take their word for it because there's always two sides to every story, and I'm all about being fair, but I take it very seriously. When people in other groups post about scammers or someone who took their money, my first reaction is to come back to our group, search the members, and make sure that scammer isn't in our group. So to have this admin be like, meh, whatever, I was just like, that kind of lack of care for other human beings, like that just, it made me very sad. That's why people get scammed. So I contacted, like I said, the breeder had sent me a screenshot of the conversation that she had with this other potential buyer that had sent a deposit. So it had the buyer's name and a picture. So I found them on Facebook and messaged them and said, hey, just so you know, this person is trying to get a deposit from me. They've already got a deposit from you, and it seems very shady. You need to be careful. So I just saw where it popped up on my notifications that that person has messaged me back. So I'll be interested to go look and see what they have to say. But yeah, it's not right. It's very shady. Emily said, Allie, you did everything you possibly could. The admin and breeder were both terribly unprofessional and unethical. Yes, I agree 100%. And you know what really burns me is when I look at the message that she's sending to the other buyer, it even says, well, I have to give her some time to contact me back because she already told her kids about getting the puppy. So the breeder was well aware of what she was doing. I'm like, really? You thought enough to say that, but then you didn't have any problem taking the deposit from somebody. Yeah, Crystal said, wow. Yeah, that's what I said, wow. And then when I told the breeder, hey, just so you know, yeah, we're not comfortable meeting you. I don't know if you're a bad breeder or a scammer. I'm certainly not sending you not one dime of money. So if you want to sell to that other person, be my guest. But you will be reported to the group admin, which turned out to be a waste of my time. And yeah, that's not okay. And I told her, I said, if it ends up that you're not a scammer and you are just a bad breeder, you need to know that what you did was wrong on multiple levels, unethical, and it was pretty crappy, all things considered. I mean, to have a family with children get excited about picking up a puppy, then we have to postpone because of weather, right? Like, how easy would it have been for her to just say, okay, well, since I'm going to hold the puppy for a day, an extra day and a half, I'm going to need a deposit. Okay, fine. I'm a breeder. I get it. It's okay, great. Just let me know how to send you the money. She literally messaged me and I responded not even 10 minutes later. I think I looked at the timestamp and it was like 9 minutes and some change. And in 9 minutes, she took a deposit from somebody else. This is what I have to say to that. And for those of you wondering, this is rice milk. So, yeah. Anyway, the whole reason why I wanted to make this video is because it's very, very important as breeders that we set the bar higher, right? If you are talking with someone, you've set a date for pickup for a puppy, don't turn around and take a deposit from somebody else and coordinate pickup with somebody else and then go back and say, oh, hey, I need a deposit from you so I can refund the deposit to them. No. That's very shady. Because all she has to do is, if I had sent her $500, is she could block me, block the other lady, poof, disappear, deactivate that Facebook, and that's it. That's all she wrote. And she would walk away with $1,000, and that other person and myself would be out the money. It's just that easy to be scammed. In this specific case, I don't think that's what would have happened. I think that she, just was being stupid. But that's just my personal opinion. I have been in plenty of situations where I had multiple people trying to place a deposit down for a single puppy at the same time. I mean, literally, I'm juggling messages at the same time. And you don't cut somebody's legs out from underneath them for somebody else. Like, you go in order, right? It just seems like common sense, right? You help the customer that's first in line. You don't skip down the line and go, hey, ma'am, over there. You're back behind everybody else. Just come on to the front. We're going to go ahead and get you checked out, okay? Hey, you first in line, you wait over here. Even though we had already started checking you out. Yeah, just go ahead and wait over here to the side. Yeah, we're just going to screw you over. Don't worry about that. Okay, you come over here. Let's get you checked out. That's not how things are done. So I'm glad you guys are laughing. Thank you. Because I'm trying to not be angry about this, but to be perfectly honest, like, it's just, my blood is just boiling. So anyway, I wanted to share my experience that I had this morning. This is just one of those things that you have to keep an eye out for. If at any point when you are speaking to someone, whether you are talking to somebody who's rehoming a dog, or, you're talking to a breeder who has a puppy, it doesn't matter. A rescue, whoever you're talking to, if at any point you feel uncomfortable or something's not right, or you're getting a gut feeling, then you have to be able to step back, remove your emotion from the situation and say, okay, why am I getting this feeling? Why are they asking these questions? Or why is this not working out? This seems odd. What's going on? You have to question it. And you have to be ready to pull the plug. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. And we've had multiple group members that have had this happen to them, right? They're most of the way through making a purchase of a puppy, something goes wrong, and they feel like, oh, well, I've already come this far, or I really want this puppy. You have to be ready to take a step back and say, holy cow, this might be a scam. Like, you really have to be careful. So Emily said the fact that she blocked you is extremely concerning. Yeah. Well, to be fair to her, I was not very kind in my response. So I can't say that I'm surprised that she blocked me, because I was not very nice about it. I probably could have been nicer. I really wanted to be much meaner, but I was probably somewhere in the middle. But yeah, anytime you tell somebody that they are acting like a scammer or just a bad breeder in general, they're going to get mad at you. And I'm perfectly okay with that. Maybe, hopefully, it will make her uncomfortable enough that she won't do this to somebody else. That's my hope. I don't like to be mean to people, but if I can use it as a teaching moment and say, hey, just so you know, what you did was really crappy and you're being a crappy person, you need to get it together, right? If I can do that, then I will. Or maybe she doesn't care what I think at all. I don't know. But I'm hoping that I made her uncomfortable enough that the next time this comes up, she'll think twice before, selling a puppy out from under somebody else. So Crystal said, I definitely understand you. Like, I would be mad too and just frustrated. I'm glad you didn't get scammed. Yeah, me too. That would have been bad. I don't I don't want anybody to ever get scammed. And there are so many scams going on right now. It was really funny. Just the other day, I had an admin of one of the groups that I'm in, and she messaged me and she was like, hey, so your name keeps popping up and you keep reporting these comments, and I just wanted to know what that was all about. And I told her, I was like, yeah, I'm reporting scammers. Because the scammers have gotten really smart about things. Like they'll link to, excuse me, they'll link to an Instagram page that's full of stolen pictures. They'll just say, hey, I've got puppies, you know, PM me. And then if you go look at their profile, it was created like 2 weeks ago. All of their friends have big, long names, right? They haven't checked in anywhere. They haven't listed any likes. They don't have any, you know, business filled out. It's basically just a Facebook page of pictures that are all stolen. A lot of times they'll have, those scammers, they like to do first names for both the first and last name. So I am always suspecting that somebody is a scammer whenever they try to join our group and their name is like, you know, Mary Joanne, right? And I'm just making that up, but I'm like, okay, you got no last name. I'm going to investigate you. What's going on? So yeah, you just got to be careful. So anyway, yeah. That was my super disappointing experience today. On a happier note, Suze took the girls to school this morning. And by the girls, I mean Velocity and Sega. I like to say that they're going to school because we don't have kids. So it's kind of fun to be like, hey, are you taking the girls to school this morning? Anyway. I know I'm ridiculous. It's all right. So she took them to school this morning. So I am here with Shazam and Kennedy and the two Poms. And we're just relaxing. Shazam fell asleep on the mantle. He's so cute. So yeah. Anyway. I'm going to jump off of here. Yeah. And just go love on my puppies because they make me feel better. So, moral of the story is, if you are concerned at any point, I don't know if it's still recording or not. Okay. On the off chance that it didn't record what I just said, I was just saying that if at any point you're buying a puppy, you're buying something off, you know, Facebook Marketplace, you're buying something off Craigslist, stay away from Craigslist. But if at any point something happens, right, specifically when it comes to dealing with purchasing puppies, if you ever get an uneasy feeling or there's a problem or something just doesn't seem right, get out of Dodge. Do not lose your money. Do not let somebody scam you. So anyway, for some reason, my internet's dropping out. So I'm going to jump off of here. I hope that you guys have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. Share this video with a friend, right? So that they can be better prepared if they're looking for a puppy, right? Be their second set of eyes. If they're looking at listings, if they're talking to someone, right? If there's lots of spelling errors, they're calling you miss or ma'am like every 5 seconds, they're pressuring you to give money, they're asking for a deposit when they already took a deposit from somebody else. Whatever the case may be, encourage your friends, your family, anyone that you know, encourage them to get a second set of eyes to look at it, because we have got to help each other if we're going to keep from making these scammers rich, because that's exactly what's happening. So I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.